Hello, and we're back with Common Courtesy live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
It's Saturday night. I couldn't help myself.
So Ashley saw some things online. She wanted to talk about immigration policies and everything like that. I agree with you. Let's go.
I love how you're like, I agree with you.
I agree with
Don't
you.
yell at me again.
No, I didn't say that. We're talking about during the break because the girls are saying.
I was like coming
don't
at
hit me.
Sean.
She was coming at me when talking about the guy. Who I don't know who this man is.
Like
but
he was the...
He's got like as if I'm the guy. Like he has a hold on you. I'm like, go tell him what you told me, what you're telling me, because I'm like, you're gonna fight me, dude. Like, whoa. But go ahead.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right. No, you're good. So I have been on the internet during my break from work.
Yeah.
And so Orange is the New Black recently came out with a new season. Sorry, there was some salt in that. So they're
Come on, Shady Boots.
I've been on Orange is the New Black kick, and part of their new season, don't worry, this isn't a spoiler, they have some characters in ICE detention centers. And obviously this isn't my first time hearing about them.
Right.
I'm not an idiot. I don't live under a rock. So I've also found stuff about it online, and I'm on Twitter a lot, and what's regularly shared are instances of ICE violating people's rights. Whether you're a citizen or not, I mean, you have basic human rights and basic protections. So I just wanted I have a little list of the biggest thing to remember is these people are not police officers. They have no jurisdiction. Right. They are limited severely on the things that they can do. They walk around and act like they're police officers, but they're not. And most of the time they can't do a majority of the things that police officers can do. Now they will call law enforcement officers out to help them enforce, but most of the time the law enforcement officer's response is going to be like, this person didn't commit a crime. I have no evidence that this person broke the law, so I can't help you. Let me just go over this list real quick. And the reason I bring this up is because there have been a lot of instances, a new tactic that they're using. They're dressing up in regular people clothes, not like in what you would imagine,
Right, like
and
an
then
outfit.
Yes, they're going
uniform.
up to people's homes, people's cars, so just finding people on the street, and they're talking to them and tricking them into thinking that they're not ICE, but they are. And whenever you ask them for their badge number and their name, they refuse to identify themselves, which is another reason how they differ in law enforcement, because law enforcement officers have to give you a badge number or their names if you request it, for their own safety. So if ICE happens to come up to you, or if you see this happening, please, as an American citizen, intervene. Help this person, because most of the time, they don't know. Stand up to these bitches, for lack of a better term. Like, I'm just angry.
Yeah.
So anyway, you do not have to disclose your immigration status. Not a requirement. If they ask you, stay silent. Do not say anything. You're not required. If a police officer arrests you under immigration, they have to give you a government-appointed lawyer if you request one. But if ICE detains you, they don't have to give you a government-appointed lawyer. The difference is you'll be assigned like a general overseer, and if you ask, they must provide you with a list of low-cost or free lawyers. So they can't give you one, but they are required to give you the resources to find one. You don't have to talk about your status. So you don't have to let them in your home. And the biggest part of this is because a lot of times ICE will come up and they'll show you a warrant of removal for a specific person. And they'll show up and they'll be like, oh, I have reason to believe this person is in here. Here's my warrant. A warrant of removal is not a warrant of search and seizure. They still cannot enter your home unless you consent. And something that I've also been seeing a lot lately is people are opening their doors, and ICE, for whatever stupid reason, is thinking that that's an invitation into the home. That is not. If you open the door and say, I do not allow you to come into the home. Or even if you don't say that, if you do not say the words, yes, you can come in, and they come in, they have violated your rights. And so if you do get arrested, your case has a chance to be thrown out because they violated your rights. They must have probable cause to search you. So if they stop you on the side of the road, they can't just be like, oh, we just wanted to see if you were a U.S. citizen.
Does that also, does those same rights, does that also extend to people who aren't?
Yes. So this information I've gathered is from the ACLU.
So that goes with no matter if you're...
Yes.
Good. Okay.
And because a lot of the times, they're not going to know. If you are here on like a visa or something, you are required to show those papers. You have to if you have them on you. You can't just plead the fifth in that case, which is a little weird and that makes things a little complicated. But if you are here illegally or if you're a U.S. citizen, like permanent, one of those scenarios you don't have to say that. You can just be quiet and there's nothing they can do. They can detain you, but then you talk to a lawyer and you do not say anything. And a lot of this extends to even non-immigration stuff if you get arrested by the police or anything. Because whatever you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So if they pull you over, they must have probable cause. They have to show that they can't just be like, oh, we thought that you were here illegally, so we pulled you over. They can't do that. They have to have proof that you, not proof, but probable cause that you're committing a crime. So unfortunately, even if it's something like you didn't use your turn signal, then they can pull you over. But they can't just target you.
For no reason, yeah.
And then this one, the last one, this is something that I found interesting because I didn't know this. If you are a non-U.S. citizen, if you're here illegally or whatever, you can request a bond. So if they don't give you bond, you can request it. And most of the time you will get it. So if there is an officer not allowing you to see a judge, not allowing you to get bond, they're violating your rights, and you do have a right to bail or bond as long as you don't do. There are 3 different types, and I can only remember one right now. But as long as you don't voluntarily leave, voluntary deportation. As long as you don't choose that or something similar, you have a right because you're innocent until proven guilty. And
I'm glad you're sharing this because earlier when we were talking, what you're explaining to me, it sounds like a lot of what we dealt with back in the 60s for the civil rights movement. Like people opening the door, like I open the door and the cops would just come right in. I didn't know you couldn't do that. Like in college, we would have these big college parties, well, not big. So I went to a very small school, my freshman and sophomore year, and they would knock on the door because someone called the police. And some people would let them in. One time they let them in and they handcuffed like 8 of us. And like we were having a pimps and hoes party. And of course I was one person who was detained because we were like fucking terrified. The cops are here and they burst in like it's a drug bust, and we're in like, they know it's a college party, like there's people laughing, drinking, whatever. And they were knocking at the door, like the police, and dumbass, her name was Ashley, and dumbass fucking, not this Ashley, but this bitch Ashley, Augustiniak, I will forever not like her for this, because she goes, oh my God, Dan, she tells my ex-boyfriend to open the door. And I'm like, don't open the door, you don't have to open the door for no reason.
They can slip that warrant under the door.
Yeah, if they need you, like, what's the probable cause? You don't have probable cause. Because what people don't know, like, ICE is acting like how cops really act sometimes. They act like they are the law, and whatever they're telling you is the law. So a lot of this, what you're saying, reminds me of the stories that my grandmother used to tell me back in the 60s, what they have to deal with. Like, they'll search your car for no reason. Or, I remember the cops came here, well, not here, at my old apartment in New York, and they were wanting to come in. I'm like, you can't come in. I didn't say you could. Opening the door is not an invitation, because you're supposed to, they usually say, can I come in? I'm glad you bring this up, because it makes me, because race is a big issue in this country, because it comes from the top, and it's been brought up a lot, and I'm kind of seeing it, it's like, wow, these people actually think this. And then to go after, like, an illegal immigrant, I'm like, why is this so important? Like, they're like, oh, they're taking our jobs. oh, or they're raping us, they're killing us. Most of these people that do these crimes are American citizens. And I just don't. I've met immigrants and I work with them, and you don't know you're working with one right now, and it's they come from a life that we don't come from. America is very, peas and peas and potatoes.
First
excuse
world.
me. Sorry. Yeah, first world. It's very safe. On paper it looks safe, but you have all this shit that happens to other countries. That for us we're appalled, but for them they're like this happens every day.
Yeah. It's like second nature to them.
Second nature, and they're fleeing from that. So I mean, I'm looking at immigration right now, and I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, we need legal immigration, but if you're running from all this crazy shit, yeah,
Asylum.
I'll come here. Yeah, asylum.
You should have asylum protections.
Well, let's be honest. Like a lot of people came here because of that. After World War II, a lot of Jewish people came here because hell, would you want to be in Germany?
Ooh. You're right.
Would
You're
you
right.
want to be there? Like,
Yeah.
and then we didn't talk about this, but because we were on the hiatus. But we did because we kind of fucked up that one tape. I did, but when President Trump said he told those four, it was who was it? Cortez, Alexandria Cortez. I
can't pronounce her names.
I can't remember the names of the four congresswomen. I'll get them later. But when he told them to go back to their country, and it was like Elon something. Elon Omar, I think her name was the one.
I think so. I don't want to butcher it.
I don't want to butcher her name either, but I think it's her name. She's the Muslim girl that's actually, she was a naturalized citizen. And they were like telling her to send her back, go back to your country. People will say that shit to me, like, go back to your country. I'm like, what? You go back to your country. Because we're all immigrants. Like, but I just what's happening in this country, and they think it's okay to say this, like, and I don't know. I don't know why this is a big issue. It's just like, it looks like it's like, let's put the racism on another fucking face.
It's a power trip.
Right.
That's what it is. I mean, you look at these immigration officers, not all of them, I guess I have to say that.
Yeah.
But most of them, it's a power trip. You have power over these people, and I hate to bring it to a fictional thing, but if you watch Orange is the New Black, that highlights it
Oh, God.
very well. There's this one scene where they distinguish between each type of officer and what their power trip is, and how you go about that. This is a matter of, this feels like a stretch. It feels like modern day slavery. We are taking people because we can, and trying to put them in their place. I'm saying that with air quotes. It's disgusting to me. You're absolutely right. This is a modern day civil liberties violation, human rights violation. We're making people drink out of toilets.
It's disgusting.
And we're saying, oh, it's fine. It's fine. They were here illegally. They're human beings.
Right.
They're human
I'm not
beings.
trying to
and
scream
we
at you
are
like you're an
all
ICE
immigrants.
agent.
Great, now he's the ICE agent. Sean's doomed.
No, but you're right. Because, it's not a bipartisan issue. Like,
It's a human rights
it's
issue.
a human rights issue. Like, there are some certain
mad.
rights that just
I went off about this
bypasses.
yesterday.
It just bypass Republican and Democrats. I just don't think that's okay. Because, like, when the Asian internment camps back in the 40s, I bet they were horrible too. And I don't understand, like, and then this Republican, they were like, oh, well, I don't like them calling it a concentration camp because it's not up to par to Auschwitz, but it's not fucking better, bitch. And it was Meghan McCain on The View. And you know what? I usually like her, but she really pissed me off when every time she really brings it to, a Republican point of view when she mentioned that, because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she likened it to the concentration camps in Auschwitz. So you can't say that. Yes, you can, because the concentration camp doesn't have to be Auschwitz. I mean, Auschwitz it's basically, oh my God, a certain group of people are being detained for political purposes or something, but it's a group of people for no fucking reason.
It's not genocide, but it's still a concentration camp.
It's still a concentration camp. Like, why the fuck are they still there? And they have children there. That's the issue. I don't care if they're not from this country, but that's the issue. That's fucked up, and we can all admit that. And the fact that it's taken so slow for some people to get on board. Like, yeah, we want stronger borders from Mexico for some reason, but not from Canada. I don't know why that is. Well, I can tell you why, but, then you'll just think I'm crazy. Maybe not everyone at the table.
No, I think it's an implied.
It's an implied thing. I mean, why don't we have a wall in Canada? Because they're white. I'll say it. Because when they said that...
They're not all white. There's
they're not
immigrants
all white.
in Canada.
There's immigrants in Canada. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, why is Mexico the country you need? These people are the ones cleaning the damn bathrooms. Yes, they're nannies. They're getting the jobs that, honestly, people from America don't really fucking want. They're not out. No, they're not being fucking doctors. Because most people.
Some of them are.
Some of them are, but it
Some,
doesn't.
but I'm talking about like the.
It's not. I don't like the whole
I don't wanna
situation that they're
generalize.
taking jobs. Nobody's
Yes.
taking jobs. Get your ass out there and get a degree and get the job you want. No, you don't want to do that. Then nobody's taking anything.
My
No one's
favorite
taking
is
anything,
like,
That's what I was getting at. Sorry.
yes,
Sorry,
someone
that's what I
said
thought you
something
were.
like, yeah, I can't even think. Muhammad from India is taking who has a doctorate degree.
Yeah,
Definitely.
He's
yeah, I
taking
remember
your
that.
job. He's
And
taking
you're
your
over
job.
here like, Joe Schmo, you're fucking like, farm over here. He's taking... No, he's not. I don't understand how ignorant some of these people are, and I don't get it. It's still happening. And I, for one, am tired of it. Like, I deal with it in everyday part of my own life, so I don't think anyone else has to deal with it. Like, you're asking these bitches, are you from this country? There are people who are, like, naturalized citizens from this country who don't really speak English well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their first language. It isn't. So, like... and
Southern California, Southern Texas,
yeah,
New Mexico.
Florida.
Yeah, go to Miami.
If you live in Miami, you have to speak Spanish. And honestly, like where I lived in New York, I lived in Washington Heights. You better learn Spanish. I can understand Spanish, but bitch, I can't speak it. But I know I kind of get the general gist of what they're saying. But I don't understand. Like it's just so people get so small minded, maybe offended because they can't learn. You don't have to learn in language, but I don't understand.
Sometimes it's
This
just-
racism and this bigotry that's going on in the country right now. I don't know. We can talk about that all day.
We didn't really hear from Nikki, though.
Sorry, yeah.
No, I mean you said it pretty much. Everything that you touched on. That's why that's one of. I mean, there's a million things about it that bother me. The fact that like we are all immigrants. We all came here from somewhere else. Like this wasn't even a place. That's what everybody gets so high and mighty of our country, my country.
The only people's country, I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but the only
no.
people's country it is Native Americans, and they don't get the same rights.
They don't get shit.
either.
So it's like,
people
who
have
in the
looked
name
at
of
Native Americans
God
and told
do
them to
you-
go back to their country. You fucking colossal moron.
Yeah.
Who
Like,
do you
this
think
is
you
it.
are? Like who do you think you are? Well, no, this is. And if people stopped coming here, then what? What if nobody ever immigrated here again? Like,
We'd be fucked.
I don't really understand how that would work out either. That's what this whole country was based on.
Right.
Like, there's a whole big thing on the Statue of Liberty that says exactly what this country was supposed to be based on.
Yeah, give us
And
your
all of a
force
sudden, we're
with
like,
that.
no, we don't.
Well, and I'm sorry, but if the issue
And then they're saying
is...
that patriots, sorry, but they're saying you're patriots. I'm like, we stand for this country stands for. I'm like, no, you don't. You only stand for something. You can't pick and choose what you stand for in this country. Like, if you're a constitutionalist, then be that. Because honestly, you can't pick and choose what rights that you're giving to people. Because what we say in the Constitution, in order to be a more perfect union, we're not going to be perfect. But damn, you can't say you're a constitutionalist and you can't even understand why we need a comprehensive immigration law. But to treat these, to say that it's okay to like cage them up and like have them down living in horrible conditions, you say that's okay. That's all right. Oh, we're not going to deal with it now. We're going to wait. We're going to, what is it? We're going to shut the government down because we can't figure out how the fuck we're going to get paid. I wish I could shut down Dr. Barbecue so we could figure out how I'm going to get paid.
Right?
I wish I could shut it down sometimes and be like,
Oh, I'm sorry, does it taste a little salty in
Just
this
a little.
room?
It's
no, I just,
got a little
okay.
something.
So, wait, Ashley, you're going to say something?
No, I
and
just-
We're going to move.
Yeah, we could talk about this all day long. It's just what I hear a lot is that like we need to keep the drugs and the crime out of here, and that's why we're stopping Mexico. This country, if we took away drugs, which is really what I'm talking about, crime too, but mainly drugs.
Right.
If we took out drugs from this country, there wouldn't be,
A country.
basically, the drug thing fuels our economy, at least partially. People depend on that. And look at marijuana, and as soon as we legalize all drugs, like we should be doing, then it'll be even more so. Without the drugs that are being brought in from elsewhere, you don't have the people to arrest.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you don't have law enforcement, what the hell else is this country?
What are they gonna do?
Besides a big ass fucking power trip. End soapbox. Whew.
And we got everything from Nikki. We want to see anything
Yeah,
else?
no, I think you've covered it all.
All right. So